set to go from Detroit as Matt Prater approaches and booms it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Love. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Running with Kamara. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
To throw on second down. Love. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
To throw on 3rd down. Love. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And Lutz's kick is good. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
At their own 25-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. He finds an opening past the 40. A big run there by Johnson, and even 60 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Give them maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Stafford. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
You know, he hated taking the loss there on third down. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the second drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back at him. They get a backhand. What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
It's a nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On the ground, this is Kamara. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Love. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. This is taken at the 18. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Throwing is Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. From the gun, here's Stafford. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different colored jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. These two teams all tied after one. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Off-play action. Love. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Jared Cook, 27 yards. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is now 10-3. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
40. 20. Check, 47. Shift.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, That's a big-time play by the defense.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And a nice spin into some open field. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Check safety, check safety. Easy, alert.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Well, now they'll try the end around. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for them to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for them. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up positive yardage.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. They'll run it with Johnson, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Love. Looking right sideline. That's complete. 17 there and a New Orleans 1st down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
39 yards there, a big one. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback making quite a splash with his second touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. What's good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
They'll run it with Johnson. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw is Stafford. It's Hill, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Stay 50, stay 50.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. On first down, Stafford here. Gets this one to Hill. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Let's go. For the Lions, first down. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
20 that, 280.
I smell fear in that offense.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Intended for Kenny Golladay. Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
You got nothing today. You got nothing.
To throw again, Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And the 13-year man puts it through. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
Let's go, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Bang, 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 bang.
A final shot before break. Love flushed out right. They still can't get it. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Alert! Border. Check.
Out of the gun, Stafford. They complete it to Hill. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch. But you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Hey, 180. Mark 47.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Set. 280. Check back 21. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford, this one complete to Lacy. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Blue 60. Hey, watch his slant. Watch his slant. Watch his slant. Watch his slant. Watch twist.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an Interesting 4th and 1.
It's now 4th down and 1.
And Mike Tomlin going to roll up the sleeves here and say, let's go for it on 4th.
Here we go again. Here we go again. Check 24. Check 24. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They run. It's Johnson. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Carry on Johnson turned away on 4th down. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
15-money.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. Ashawn Robinson there on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Mike 51. Mike 51. Focus, defense, focus. 51's the Mike. 51's the Mike. Ready, go.
They run it again with Kamara. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. All right, T, let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down. Love. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
We got this.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
25 to Mark. 25 to Mark. Check out. Check the SC6. Sherman. At 25 to Mike. We'll go 25 to Mike. And come on, come on, Ready.
From the gun, Love. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he had a nifty little deep juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. And Lutz puts this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 8. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side. I
would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Middle. 21. Undercrush. 11.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On 1st down, Johnson. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Alert! Switch. Check. Protein spill.
From just shy of midfield, Stafford. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Alert! 5.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 34-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Stafford now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete. Lacy hit. He lost the football. It's out. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards, good for his Saints, first down. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Right back to Connor here on 1st. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
A big play, 3rd and 2. This crowd dying for a stop. They'll try and run forward with Connor, and he will have a first down here at about the 40. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is Connor. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
At the 50-yard line.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They go with Murray again. And an alley to run. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
You know I'm old school, so I always want a hammer in my backfield. But in short yardage situations, 3rd down pickups, I got to have him. And he picked it up for him right there.
Okay,
Ball
break.
up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go. You tighten up.
Go, Mike 51. Mike 51. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Calm the truck.
Quit talking about it and break.
What happened?
Here's Connor. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Here's Connor. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for New Orleans, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they will head back home next.